y'all. My name is Dr. Shanae, and this is Given Name. Given Name is a storytelling podcast where we slow down and talk about the meaning, the memory, and the culture behind the names we carry. Every episode, I'll sit with a guest and we'll unpack the story behind their first name, the lineage, the intentions, the jokes, the mispronunciations, the nicknames that stuck, and the ones that didn't, the joy, even when it's complicated. Give a Name is about honoring the history that walks into rooms before we do. Before we go any further, let me introduce myself. My given name is Shanae Jeffries, PhD. I'm a sociologist by training, a storyteller by nature, and someone who has spent most of her life people watching. How we move, how we're labeled, and how we survive systems that weren't built with us in mind. And honestly, I've had a journey with my name. Growing up, I didn't love my name, not because of the name itself, but because people acted like it was impossible to say. It's spelled phonetically, Shanae, Shanae. So I'm not sure why my name was whipping asses like that in the 90s, but here we are now, Shanae. At different points, I tried to rebrand myself. I became Shay with a Y, then Shay with an E in college, which honestly, that one felt closer to home because there is no Y in Shanae. So you know why would there be a Y in Shay? Just if we think about that one. But even then, I was negotiating my name to make other people feel comfortable. And that right there, that's where the sociology lives. Also, I'll say this. A lot of my frustration came from growing up in a monolingual town. I'm learning that names sound differently across languages, and that matters. We're actually going to have an episode about that this season. Okay, let's look at this through the sociological lens. Since childhood, I had noticed how quickly people made assumptions just by hearing a first name, how a name could possibly signal race, gender, class, before even meeting the person. That curiosity eventually shaped my dissertation, which focused on empathy and affirmative action, asking whether race, gender, and political identity predict someone's likelihood to support equity based policies like affirmative action. Guess what? To no one's surprise, it does. White male conservatives will vote against equity every single time. So that leads me to my name. When people see my name, they may assume I'm Black, I'm a female, and I'm from a lower socioeconomic background before they ever meet me. And that assumption robs me of the freedom from prejudice. This is where my research really originated. While that analysis was accurate, it was incomplete and it was really biased. Look, when you only look at names through harm, through discrimination and partiality, you miss the tenderness, the intention, and the love that went into choosing them in the first place. I realized I didn't want to spend my life only studying how we're misunderstood. That realization, it changed everything for me. Instead of asking how our names are used against us, I started asking what brilliance lives inside the way we name ourselves. From my research, I know names often fall into a few categories. There's historical, there's religious or spiritual, there's cultural, and then there's what I lovingly call unique. My name, Shanae, lives somewhere between the cultural and the unique part. So I started giving names to do my favorite thing, to listen, to hear the stories behind names, what inspired them, what nicknames grew from them, how they've shaped people's experiences and their relationships. This podcast is about the creativity of Blackness, about presence, about what happens when a name is spoken in a room and history enters with it. Yes, I'm geeking out. There's a lot of movement, but you do get the picture. Here's a little more about me. I'm a fur mom, one cat, one dog, a mid 30s millennial who loves to people watch, single, social scientist, storyteller, depression survivor, mental health advocate. I'm from Texas, and if this is Austin, I still love you. Gryffindor, a pretty poodle repping for the 1922, first generation, educated, the baby girl, Capricorn, and a solopreneur. I love, love to laugh. And I also love silence. I'm a deep thinker, a morning person, hashtag team typing fast, and yes, a proud alum of the Twerk Academy. Also, give them hill studies. So here's where I'm at now. I spent most of my 20s as a student, which meant I entered corporate life a lot later than most, and I quickly hated it. Two jobs and 1,000 reasons to leave. So, this podcast and the work that I'm doing under the Shanae Chantel brand is me choosing alignment within myself. I recently released a guided healing journal that was inspired by my own healing journey. And you can find that on Etsy, Shopify, and my website, ShanaeChantel.com. This podcast lives inside that same intention to slow down, to reflect, and honor ourselves fully. In closing, I'm just a Black girl from the 90s who loves our culture and wants to put history that walks around us every day on wax. This is Given Name, and thank you for being here. You can find me on social media at awkward_PhD, also known as Dr. Awkward. All of my work lives under the Shanae Chantel brand, ShanaeChantel.com. Watch episodes on YouTube or listen to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, Amazon Music. New episodes feature intimate, thoughtful conversations, one name at a time. Take care.